finish your case today, you may be offered some type of plea. You don't have to accept it if you don't want to. And if you'd like to have an attorney, I'm happy to appoint one. So when I call your name, please come up and this is the arraignment. Azariah Bell, come on up.
Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Mr. How do you pronounce your first name? Azaria. Mr. Azaria Bell. This is 24 CF 2027. If I could have just one moment. You want to take it or plead not guilty? Judge, we'll enter a plea of not guilty. He has an offer that we want to review together before he makes his decision on that.
All right, you're charged with possession of a controlled substance without prescription, so you want to plead?
I'd like to leave him on the 28th if possible. I know it's a pretty big docket right now, but I have some appointment times scheduled next week that he could easily squeeze into.
All right, October 28th, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So call me as soon as you leave so you can schedule an appointment. Yeah.
Lindsay Billingham,
Billingsley, Judge.
or Billingsley, sorry. Lindsay Billingsley.
I'm not seeing a response, Your Honor. I do show that I represent her. I know this was continued from 2 weeks ago, and we had a storm. I'm not sure if notice was actually given to her. I'm sure it was sent, but I don't know if it was given to her.
No bond capious. Christopher Carroll. 24 CF 1923.
Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Christopher Carroll. Judge, this is 24 CF 1923. Judge will enter a plea of not guilty, request 15 days for pre-arraignment motions, demand trial by jury, and leave this set for a pretrial, whether that's the 28th or a later date, depending on how the court sees the calendar.
All right, Mr. Carey, charged with possession of cocaine and resisting an officer without violence. We'll see you on October 28th. And, okay, thank you. Mark Allen Dandridge, 24 CF 1905.
Seeing no response, Your Honor.
No bond capious. David Nolan Demers,
Seeing no response, Your Honor.
24 CF 1880. No bond capious. Jessica Nicole Duffield.
Your Honor, Ms. Duffield is present, approaching Tim Gibbs on her behalf, 24 CF 1908. Judge will enter a plea of not guilty, request 15 days for pre-arraignment motions, and demand trial by jury. If we could leave this set for a pretrial conference.
You're charged, Ms. Duffield, with 3 counts of possession of controlled substance without prescription. I think I'm going to start setting them for December.
No objection.
December 30th. Y'all have any problem with that?
No, sir.
December 30th.
Thank you, Judge. But call me as soon as you can so we can go over.
Sandra K. Gann, 24 CF 1930. Scan, you're charged with possession of controlled substance without prescription, driving with a suspended or revoked license, and possession of narcotics equipment. Excuse
Your Honor,
me.
Tim Gibbs on behalf of Ms. Gann, 24 CF 1930. Judge, we'll plead not guilty. I'd like to leave her on pretrial 1028. We just need to confirm a few things with Mr. Sprouse so we can try to get this resolved.
All right, October 28th.
Thank you, Judge. Do you need a card?
Marcus Hamilton, 24 CF 2014. Mr. Hamilton, you're charged with 4 counts of failure to register. Is there any type of offer for Mr. Hamilton?
Your Honor, Mr. Hamilton is charged with 3 counts of a failure to register. The presumptive sentence will be Department of Corrections sentence, so I wish to consider.
All right, I'll appoint public defender to represent you. Okay?
Judge Shay Williams with the Public Defender's Office. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty on Mr. Hamilton's behalf. Request 15 days for pre-arraignment motions and demand trial by jury.
December 30th. Pre-trial.
Thank you, Judge. Step right behind the railing there. I'm going to have you a business card and give you some instructions.
Colby Lee Hart.
Mr. Hart. I tell you what, just go ahead and sit down. They're calling the rest of my cases. It'll be a few
24 CF 1881, 24 CF 1972.
Afternoon, Judge. Judge, I'm going to be entering a plea of not guilty on Mr. Hart's behalf. Request 15 days for pre-arraignment motions and trial by jury.
All right, Mr. Hart, you're charged with fleeing, attempting to elude, making a false report of a commission of a crime.
He's got 2 cases, Judge. One's 4624 CF 1881. That's the one the court was referring to. He's also got 4624 CF 1972. On that one, it's a burglary of a dwelling with assault or battery, and then a sexual battery.
All right, December 30th.
Thank you, Judge. I'm not going to be able to give you anything in here today, okay? I'll tell you what, leave him back. I'll talk with him in a few minutes. They're going to pull you into a conference room, and I'll talk with you there.
And the next case is Philip Hart, 24 CF 1903.
Judge, Mr. Hart doesn't answer the call to court. Mr. Hart did come and see me. I spoke with him on September 24th. I don't know why he's here today, other than perhaps he didn't get notice of the court change after the hurricane.
No bond capias. Next case, 24 CF 1937, Wilmer Hernandez.
Likewise, Judge, I don't get an answer or see a response from Mr. Hernandez.
No bond capias. Next case is Corey Jones, 24 CF 1971.
Judge, I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty on Mr. Jones's behalf. Request 15 days for pre-arraignment motions and trial by jury.
Mr. Jones, you're charged with burglary of an unoccupied structure and grand theft. December 30th. Thank you.
All right, Judge, thank you.
Pre-trial.
Okay.
Next case is Justice Alan Kelly, 24 CF 1856.
Your Honor, you signed an order allowing us to withdraw and appointing RCC on Mr. Kelly yesterday.
Okay.
You're
Mr.
getting-
Kelly, you are going to be represented by a regional conflict counsel. Court will enter a not guilty plea for you and set you for December 30th.
Judge, he's wanting to ask.
Okay.
Have I been formally charged with a crime?
I believe an information's been filed against you. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. And information was filed on September 24th of this year.
Yeah, this is your arraignment. You're charged with possession of controlled substance without prescription and resisting an officer without violence. Okay?
So I have been formally charged?
Yeah.
Okay.
I may have a copy of that here, but yeah, here you go.
All right, and who is going to be my conflict attorney?
Regional Conflict Counsel, Jennifer Flowers.
Jennifer Flowers?
Yeah.
All right, thank you, sir.
Okay.
And when does this continue to?
December 30th, but it could be moved up if you can get it resolved before then.
All right, thank you, sir.
Jeffrey Long, 24 CF 1866. All right, Mr. Long, you're charged with robbery by sudden snatching without a firearm or weapon. Is there any type of offer for Mr. Long?
The score sheet for Mr. Long does score him out to a DOC sentence, Judge. The offer would be a year and a day, Department of Corrections.
You want an attorney to represent you? Okay. I'll appoint public defender to represent you. December 30th, court date, pretrial,
What time?
9.
Yeah, all your court dates from now on are gonna be at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay, and you're Mr. Long? All right, Mr. Long, come, step back behind the rail, and I'll give you a card and give you some instructions, okay?
The next case is Diana Freeman, 24 CF 1963.
Your Honor, we're going to enter a not guilty plea and request trial by jury. Your Honor, also too, I did file a motion for the court to allow contact. The victim in the case filed a request for contact. They have a child, a small toddler, well, 3-month-old, wasn't it? 5-month-old now in common. And he indicated that he was not in fear and asked if she could be back in the home to help raise the 5-month-old. I had spoken to Mr. Sprouse before about that. He had indicated he had no objection, but I did not speak to Ms. Turner about that.
Is Mr. Sprouse, is he not going to be in this division anymore?
That's correct.
What, do you have any notes or something from
Well,
him?
the victim did
It's a written statement from the
written
victim.
statement.
Judge, just 1 second, please. Based on the representations from Ms. Rivers, the state would agree to the modification to no violent contact.
All right, well, send me an order.
All right.
Okay, and Ms. Freeman, your court date is December 30th. Okay?
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Next case is Jordan Polk, 20 CF 1936. You're charged with possession of a controlled substance with intent to sell or manufacture and possession of cocaine. Is there an offer for her?
Yes. The state's offer is a withhold of adjudication, 18-month standard probation, a substance abuse evaluation and any recommended treatment, random urinalysis, and a driver's license suspension for 180 days.
You want to have an attorney?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll appoint public defender to represent you, and December 30th is your pretrial conference court date, okay? It's one of those people back there. Well, Mr. Gibbs or Mr. Williams, you might want to have a seat, talk with them, okay? Next case is Christopher Porter.
Can you put these back in the box where they go?
24 CF 1957.
Your Honor, we've reached an agreement in this matter, if I may have.
On Christopher Porter. Mr. Porter, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for this court's true, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Felony part Cody agreed to, and then we emailed you to make part of the joint email on the misdemeanor.
So it's the 18 months probation is what it is, right?
And, Your Honor, he also has a misdemeanor case in front of Judge Ward. The attorney, the prosecutor, Judge Ward, of course, is present in court today. I believe she could represent to the court that Judge Ward has indicated no problem with you resolving his cases.
That's correct.
Okay.
Here's the score sheet. Okay, thank you.
So this would be to resolve that case as well as 24 MM 3132.
All right, this is 24 CF 1957 and 24 MM 3132. Mr. Porter, you want to enter a no contest plea to is it felony theft?
Your
Felony.
Honor, it is felony theft, yes, Your Honor.
A third-degree felony and trespassing, a first-degree misdemeanor, and resisting an officer without violence, a first-degree misdemeanor. And in 24 MM 3132, criminal mischief, a second-degree misdemeanor. So you want to enter a no contest plea to those charges, correct? Okay, you have to speak up a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, that's count 2 in 1957. First-degree misdemeanor. So did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes, I did.
Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea in these cases?
Yes.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this plea?
No.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today? Are you happy with the work Ms. Rivers did for you on your case? Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. In 24 CF 1957, you are judged guilty, all 3 counts, 18 months probation, concurrent, no trespassing at Walmart, take the anti-theft class, $415 court costs, $100 cost prosecution, $100 PD fee, $50 app fee, and counts 2 and 3, is he being sentenced to time served? It just says counts 2 and 3.
And, yes.
Yes, Judge, we can do that.
Time served? Okay.
In the misdemeanor, he's got to pay $200 restitution, so that needs to be rolled into the probation term.
Okay, and that is 24 MM 3132. You're judged guilty, 6 months probation, concurrent, $200 restitution to Taco Bell during the term of the probation, $305 court costs, $50 cost of prosecution. Adjudicated guilty. Anything else?
That's it, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor.
Yes.
And I understand the restitution he needs to pay within 6 months. Can he have the entire time of his pay?
Yeah, during probation, yeah. Was he an employee at Taco Bell? I mean, how do you steal $200 worth of tacos?
I think it was hitting the message board or,
Oh,
I think it was a display screen.
yes.
I'll have 500 tacos, please.
Stupid kiosks.
All right, the next case is 24 CF 19, we just did that one. The next one is 24 CF 1846, Sunny Ray Rogers.
Yes, Your Honor, Ms. Rogers is present. We're actively trying to work out a plea agreement with the state, a potential DPA. I would ask if we put her on the next available court date, 10/28.
All right, 10/28, Ms. Rogers.
Okay, yep, all right. And we'll-
October 28th, okay?
No, 9 a.m.
Next case, 24 CF 1883, Davin Lee Smelly.
I need to meet with him, so if we could just do him towards the end.
All right. Next case is Edward Stallworth Jr. 24 CF 2026, he was charged with failure to register, 3 counts. Is there a type of offer for Mr.?
Your Honor, as it is a failure to register, the presumptive minimum guidelines will be a Department of Corrections offer at this point.
All right, Mr. Stallworth, I'm going to appoint public defender to represent you. And your court date will be December 30th. Okay?
Give you a card.
Yeah, he's pleading not guilty, I presume, right?
We're going to enter a not guilty plea, request trial by jury.
All right, the next case is 24 CF 1970, is Johnny Lionel Stallworth. Mr. Stallworth, you're charged with aggravated stalking after injunction.
Your Honor, we're going to enter a not guilty plea, request trial by jury.
December 30th. Thank you. Next case, 24 CF 1853, Christopher Stearns. You're charged with possession of a controlled substance without a prescription.
Your Honor, we're going to enter a not guilty plea, request trial by jury.
December 30th. If you come to court wearing short pants next time, you're going to jail, okay?
Is that, you said December 30th? Thank you.
Next case is 24 CF 2003, Mindy Raven Taylor.
Ms. Taylor wasn't, she's in custody, but she wasn't transported.
All right. What we'll do is, I'll just go ahead and appoint the public defender. Y'all plead or not guilty.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then
We're going to
we
enter a
can-
not guilty plea, request trial by jury.
Waiver presence at arraignment.
Yes, Your Honor, we do waiver presence for arraignment.
All right, December 30th. Next case is Derek Wesley Toller, 24 CF 1990.
Your Honor, we've reached an agreement in this matter.
All right, you're charged with possession of controlled substance without a prescription. Mr., is it Toller or Toller?
It's Toller, sir.
Toller, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for is court's truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right.
With a misdemeanor.
Your Honor, if I may approach?
All right.
There's two case numbers. There's also 24 SM 2425.
Mr. Toller, you want to enter a no contest plea to possession of a controlled substance, a third-degree felony, and violation of probation, misdemeanor,
That's correct.
on a misdemeanor?
That's correct.
Okay. And you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes.
Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea and admission of violation of probation?
I do.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this plea and violation of probation?
Not at all.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
Absolutely not.
Are you happy with the work Ms. Rivers did for you on your case?
For sure.
Court finds the plea and admission is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. In 24 CF 1990, you are judged guilty, sentenced to 18 months probation, no trespassing at 813 North Verdun Boulevard, Crestview, Florida. Have a substance abuse evaluation, complete recommended counseling, maintain gainful employment, or submit 3 job applications per week. 615 court costs, $100 cost of prosecution, $100 PD fee, $50 app fee, waive cost of supervision. You can do community service for your court costs, excuse me. In 24 M 2425, you're judged guilty, revoke and terminate probation, sentenced to 30 days Okaloosa County Jail, credit for time served, $50 cost of prosecution, $50 PD fee. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Is this a plea?
Next case, 24 CF 1968, Ryan John Valancourt.
Your Honor, we've reached an agreement in this matter.
Would you please raise your right hand, Mr. Valancourt, to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for his court's true, so help you God.
Yes.
Thank you. you want to enter a no contest plea to, on count 1, reckless driving, a lesser included offense of fleeing and attempting to elude law enforcement, so down from a third-degree felony to a first-degree misdemeanor, correct? And then you want to enter a no contest plea to possession of a controlled substance, a third-degree felony, count 2, correct?
Yes.
And on count 3, possession of drug paraphernalia, a first-degree misdemeanor, correct? And did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form? Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this plea? Are you happy with the work Ms. Rivers did for you on your case?
Yes.
You're sentenced to, on count 1, 6 months of probation. On count 2, 3 years of probation. And credit for time served on count 3. Complete a driver's safety course. Have a substance abuse evaluation and complete recommended counseling. No drugs or alcohol without a written prescription. Court costs of $1,550, $100 cost of prosecution, $100 PD fee, $50 app fee. Waive cost of supervision, 6 months driver's license suspension. You can get a business permit after completion of driver's safety course. May terminate probation after 2 years with no violation. All probation is concurrent.
And Your Honor, that would be adjudication withheld on the felony count and adjudications on the misdemeanors.
Okay, adjudication withheld on count 2
Yes, Your Honor.
and adjudicated on count 1 and
3.
3.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Rivers, you used to write these plea forms like in Chinese, where they were, instead of a sentence, they were down. And I got on to you about that. Now you're writing them backwards. That's why I'm having a hard time with this, because you got it, instead of count 1, this is what, you got it written out, and then at the end, count 2, or count 1. You see?
I had to add something at the end, Your Honor.
Instead of saying, okay, count 1, he's sentenced to this. Count 2, you got something written out, then count 1, and then there's another sentence. It looks like it's part of the next, you know, it makes it hard to make sure. I want to make sure I give them what they're supposed to get, but when you write it reversed, it makes it sound like it's running into the next count or something. So try not to do that. Okay? Thank you. Thank you.
You're going to have to talk to David.
All right.
Your Honor, on his case, is that he shall terminate after 2 years if all conditions are met?
I'm gonna say shall. All right, the next case is 24 CF 1843, Brian Velasquez. Charged with resisting an officer with violence and battery on an officer.
Your Honor, hello there. We're going to enter a not guilty plea, request trial by jury, Your Honor.
All right, December 30th. Thank you.
I'll be back out to see you.
Next case is Christopher Wafer, 24 CF 2056. You're going to go to jail if you wear short pants next time to court.
I haven't had an opportunity to speak with him, Your Honor. If I could have a few minutes, we may be able to work out the case. We could call him back in a few minutes.
All right.
Just have a seat for a few minutes.
Is anyone here for arraignment that has come in late?
Judge, I do have a Mr. Joshua Fagan. We have a plea for PTI.
Is he on arraignment?
Judge, I thought I had put him on today's docket, but I was not able to. But since it is a PTI and everything's signed, we would like to submit it.
All right. Is he here?
He is, Judge. He's approaching. And for the record, Judge, this is 24 CF 1696. We have the PTI paperwork ready to submit. The state's filing for the referral to the PTI program. It will require a plea.
All right, it's 24 CF 1696, State versus Joshua, Joshua James Fagan. Would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for his court's true, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
You want to enter into this pretrial intervention program? Is that correct? And you entered into this agreement. Did you read and sign this this agreement with the state?
Yes, sir.
You realize if you complete the agreement, the charges will be dropped.
Yes, sir.
But if you don't, or if you violate it, then the court will be imposing the sentence that's listed on this paperwork. You understand that? Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this agreement?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today? Are you happy with the work Mr. Gibbs did for you on your case?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, do this agreement so that you can get your case dismissed, and it looks like you got to 24 months to do it, so, okay? The sooner you get it done, the better,
Thank you, Judge.
okay?
With probation. We request to also waive cost of supervision if that's not already on there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Judge. So you'll meet with probation and they'll get all the paperwork started for you. Judge, the other person that I have for the arraignment docket is Mr. David Demers. We have a written plea agreement ready to submit. I may approach.
All right. Would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for his court's true, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is 24 CF 1880, State versus David Demers. You want to enter a no contest plea to the lesser charge of improper display of a firearm, a first-degree misdemeanor, and driving license suspend or revoke, a second-degree misdemeanor, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes, sir.
Did anyone force you or threaten you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here?
Yes, sir.
Are you happy with the work Mr. Gibbs has done for you on your case?
Absolutely.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. Judge you guilty on both counts. Sentence you 6 months probation, concurrent, $50 cost of prosecution, $225 court costs, $100 PD fee, no driving without a valid driver's license.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Supervision fees waived.
Recalling capias and waiving the fees.
Thank you, Judge. So just be probation. Judge, I do have another defendant that I would like to call. She's not on docket. Her name is Courtney Ard. She had an FTA back a couple weeks ago. She is present. We were asking to recall the capias. I regret that I did not file a motion or do a notice in preparing for the rest of the cases this afternoon. So that I'll leave that to the discretion of the court on whether that's heard.
She's here for what?
She's here, Judge, she had a capias for a failure to appear a couple weeks ago, I believe at a miscellaneous date. She is here present today requesting the capias be recalled.
When's your next court date?
It would otherwise be for pretrial on 10/28. We are very close to resolution with Ms. Leone, just trying to get some
All
final
right, I'll
details.
recall the capias court dates, October 28th. Don't miss it now, okay?
Yes, sir.
Stay in touch.
Okay.
All right. And does the clerk need that case number? Thank you.
I don't have any more for arraignment on a docket.
Your Honor, I just have the two I'm ready to recall.
Okay.
So the first one I'll call is Christian Weefer. That would be 24 CF 2056. He is charged with possession and loitering and prowling. We're going to enter a not guilty plea, request trial by jury.
All right, December 30th.
Okay?
Thank you.
And the next one, Your Honor, is David Smelly, 24 CF 1883. We've reached an agreement in this matter.
All right. This is 24 CF 1883, State of Florida versus David Lee Smelly. Would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give before this court is true, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
You want to enter a no contest plea to possession of drug equipment of first degree misdemeanor, correct?
Sir.
The state's going to drop charge 1.
That's correct.
Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes, sir.
Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
Anyone force you or threaten you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No, sir.
You happy with the work Ms. Rivers did for you on your case?
Yes, sir.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it, adjudicates you guilty, sentence you to credit for time served, $350 court costs, $50 cost of prosecution, $50 PD fee, $50 app fee.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Is that all our arraignments for today?
That's all I have for arraignment, Judge. I've got 2 cases for this afternoon's 2 o'clock docket. One I'm going to move to continue, and then the other one's going to be a quick plea.
Which is the plea?
That's Audra Meeks.
Meeks?
Meeks, M-E-E-K-S. She'll be at the bottom of the docket.
She inmate?
She is, Judge.
What's the case to continue?
That's going to be Mr. Medina's, Judge. He already entered an admission. We've been trying to get him a place to go to, a facility. We're still waiting on Keaton. That's where we really prefer to send him anyway.
Is he here?
Y'all brought over Medina? Okay, he's here, Judge.
And I understand Mr. Wesson's been continued?
Yes, Your Honor.
He's continued?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
October 31st.
Do you want to bring out Mr. Medina for me to move?
Okay.
Okay. Judge, this is Mr. Medina. We're still trying to get a response back from Keaton, and so I'm going to move to continue it.
Okay, this is 21 CF 1821, 21 CF 2380, and 23 CF 2874. When did you want to continue it to?
I'd like to keep it relatively short, so I guess 10:31, Judge.
All right, October 31st. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Mix.
It would probably help if I gave that to you.
Mike, this is that score sheet too. This-
Yeah, this is the one that I added on.
Withhold.
I can show you a copy of Cody sent us. Cody's law.
Yep, I got it. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Here you go, Judge.
It's 24 CF 1785, State of Florida versus Audra G. Meeks. Ms. Meeks, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for his court is true, so help you God. Can you hear me?
need to speak loud enough that he can hear you.
Can you
Yes,
hear
sir.
me? Okay. You want to enter a no contest plea, the charge of battery on a ER nurse? Third-degree felony, correct?
Do you want to enter a plea of
Is
no
that
contest to the charge that you're charged with?
Yes, sir.
All right. Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes, sir.
Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
Anyone force you or threaten you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No, sir.
Are you happy with the work Mr. Williams did for you on your case?
Yes, sir.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it, withholds adjudication of guilt, 18 months probation, 20 hours community service work, take an anger management evaluation and treatment within 30 days, beginning recommended treatment within 60. Waive cost supervision and what? Standard court costs, cost
Yes,
of
sir.
prosecution,
Yes, sir.
and app fee.
That's correct, sir.
Okay. Anything else? Thank you.
No, sir.
So the court's aware, we will refer her to the treatment program, but we cannot ensure that it will be done in 30 days.
All right, just, yeah, okay. Next case is,
Your Honor, Tequacia Rodriguez should be fairly short.
all right, Tequacia Rodriguez. She
She's in
here?
custody. I don't know if anybody else has another short one, but Your Honor, did you have an opportunity to look over the report filed by Florida State Hospital on Ms. Rodriguez's case?
I believe I have, yeah.
Okay.
And Your Honor, the state will have no objection to the court considering that as a basis for a finding of competency.
Sign it right there. Your Honor, I have had an opportunity to meet with Ms. Rodriguez, and she is before the court at this time on 22 CF 0000092, 22 CF 743. As I indicated before, Your Honor, she was at Florida State Hospital. Florida State Hospital did file a report asking the court to find her competent. We're asking you to take notice of that report and to find her competent as well.
All right, court takes notice of it, and the stipulation by the state, find her competent, proceed.
Your Honor, we have reached an agreement in this matter, if I may approach.
All right. Ms. Rodriguez, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for this court's truth, so help you God.
Can hear you.
Do you swear the testimony you give for this court's truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay. This is 22 CF 92 and 22 CF 743, State of Florida versus Taquasia Rodriguez. And you want to enter a no contest plea to these two charges of child neglect, third-degree
Yes.
felonies,
Yes, I
correct?
do, sir.
Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes, I did.
Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes.
Anyone force you or threaten you to enter this plea?
No.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No.
Are you happy with the work Ms. Rivers did for you on your case?
Yes, I am.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. Withholds adjudication on both counts, both cases, sentence you to time served and court costs, which can go to a judgment. Okay?
Yes.
Very good.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Ms. Dudley, do you have, you want to go now? Which one you want to do, Glover, McGee?
Glover first, Your Honor.
Okay.
Good afternoon. I got Chase Glover in 22 CF 1170. It was a motion to dismiss. The state filed a demurrer. I believe the state was seeking a continuance. I talked to Ms. Leon. She is out of the area today, so we could set it for, I think, November 7th. Is that the date?
Well, that was on the next one that she was asking for November 7th. I'm not aware of any
I
preference.
think this one we talked about doing 1031 at 2, I guess, for the hearing, if that's okay with the court.
Yeah.
You said 10:31?
Yeah.
Thank you, Judge.
Now, the next I have is Gil McGee in 24 CF 376. We have filed a motion for statement of particulars. Your Honor, it's my understanding, talking to the state, they were going to ask to continue this hearing to the 7th, so Ms. Leon can be present.
All right.
That's correct, Judge. It's Ms. Leone's case. We'd ask that you put it on the November 7th docket.
And I did talk to my client about that, Your Honor.
Okay, November 7th, thank you.
Yes, sir. I believe that's all I have, Your Honor. Thank you.
Who we got left?
Brown Menzies, the last one left, sir.
'21 CF 1410, State versus Connie Jeanette Brown Menzies. Are all of y'all here? Did y'all come for arraignment? There were some that were late.
Your Honor, I have nothing further. May I be excused?
Okay. Ken?